Hi guys, thanks for joining. It's Sebastian Boyer, the approved guy. As always, it's a blessing to be a blessing, and I look forward to just sharing all my information with you and helping you with your start of your business, expansion and growth. This is gonna translate not just in business but in personal life as well. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please like and share with others to grow this channel and just get this information out there to help as many people as possible. Really appreciate it. Today we're going to continue our conversation on startup credibility. Last video I introduced you to startupcred.com and just gave you a general overview, but today we're going to dive into the first step of startup credibility, which is to form a company. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and connect on startupcred.com, and you should see my screen. I'm here at startupcred.com. Again, this is a free platform for you to get access to education and coaching, as well as resources to start your business, expand and grow your business. And once you create a username and password for free, you'll just come back in here and you can just log in at any time. So here we are logged in with my unique profile. That's me, Seb. And what is credibility? Credibility is basically the quality of being trusted and believed in, right? And so when you're a startup, you have no credibility. And so the first thing you want to do is establish credibility. And it's not something you just want to do as a principle, but it's actually something you need to do if you want to build business credit with Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax, and be able to get access to funding in the future with banks and lenders who are going to be looking at your business credit. They're going to be checking your credibility to see that you're a legitimate business. So here's the startup guide. The very first step, step number one, is to form your company, right? Forming a company with your Secretary of State and getting an EIN or tax ID number with the IRS is the first step in starting a company. Now, before you start this step, you have to make sure you've decided on two things. Number one, your business name and your address, whether you're going to use your home address, which is okay, or you're going to get a virtual address with a location like Regis, which we'll talk about that later on. Using your home address is okay for building business credit, but just keep in mind that, of course, your home address will show up on maps when someone does a business search for your company. Okay, so if you don't want to show your home on maps for your business, you might want to consider a virtual address. Now, a PO box or a UPS box number is not going to work, not for a legitimate business credibility with Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax, and with the banks that would be looking at you for funding. Okay, so the first step is forming your company. Once you know your name and you know if you're going to use your home address or you're going to have a setup with a virtual office address, then you're going to be able to go. There's two ways to do this, okay? One is you can do it yourself, right? And then the other way is you can use a third-party expert. Now, a lot of experts, attorneys and CPAs, they tend to charge, anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 unless you have a special friend or a hookup or something. But that's what you're going to get quoted in many cases. Now, there are web services online like LegalZoom and My Corporation, and they have different packages that start at $150, but by the time you're done checking out, their fees can go up to $400 or $500 to get set up. And that doesn't include the state filing fees or the fees with the IRS, okay? So you can do it yourself, and I'm going to show you how to do that here. Or you can basically use a a legal service called Legal Shield. Legal Shield provides affordable legal services, and they have a package called Launch, and Launch only costs $150. That's it, and that $150 is what you pay them to set up. But the good thing is you're actually able to speak to an attorney before you set up the company. So you can ask them questions like, what states you're going to file in, whether you want to do, in your state, or you want to do foreign filing in states like Arizona, Delaware, and a few other states. There are reasons why you might want to do that. And I'll be getting into that later on when we get into the address video. But the first thing is you want to do is form your company. So you can use Legal Shield to do it for you. $150, you'll be able to speak to an attorney, or you can do it yourself. All right, so the first thing is you need to go to your Secretary of State. So if you click this link here, it's going to take you to the Secretary of State website, where you can basically basically have the list of all the Secretary of States that we've prepared for every state, and go to your state and go directly to the Secretary of State. Now, in some states, it's really easy. Like Florida is really simple. 24 to 48 hours, you'll have a business up and running. But some states are a little bit more difficult and more complicated. I can't speak to every state and tell you exactly how they work. So you might want to check that out. Look at the state list, look at the Secretary of State. If you feel comfortable to do it yourself, then do it yourself. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind is you have to decide, who is going to be your registered agent. When you form a company, there has to be a registered agent. So that's why sometimes you want to use an attorney or a CPA, because your registered agent is the person who basically, if there's a lawsuit, or if the state needs to serve you some documents, any updates on your company, they're going to deliver that to your registered agent. Now, you can make yourself the registered agent, but again, that's just going to come to you directly. Now, if you're a startup and you're looking to maintain a low budget, and you don't want to have to pay someone as a registered agent like a CPA or an attorney, then you could do it yourself, and you can always update that later. Now, the registered agent is the one that would be communicating with the Secretary of State on any updates, like your phone number, address. And so there's another reason you might consider doing that yourself. But a lot of business owners like to create a buffer and basically have someone else as the registered agent. Now, keep in mind, whatever state you're filing in, if it's a foreign filing, the registered agent would have to be in that state. So if you are doing a foreign filing, then that's where an attorney, CPA, or a third party might be required for the registered agent. So just keep that in mind. So you can go to your Secretary of State on your own. If you feel comfortable, just see the list, go to the Secretary of State, and form a company section. And if you feel comfortable to do it yourself, then do it. Now, once you've established the company with the Secretary of State, you're going to form yourself either a corporation or an LLC. For building business credit, I do not recommend a sole proprietorship, but if that's what you want to do and you're not going to worry about building business credit, then you can definitely go ahead and do that. Again, this is why you want to speak to an attorney about how you're going to form your entity. But most cases, it'll be an LLC or a corporation. And so in that case, you're going to then take that information and you're going to go to the IRS. And this link here will take you directly to the business formation, where you're going to request a tax ID number, or an EIN, electronic identification number. Basically, guys, your EIN number is your business's social security number. So just like you can build credit on your personal credit, you can build credit on your business credit. And so you get set up with the Secretary of State, establish the business entity, go to the IRS, and get your EIN number. And again, that's something that can be done very quickly, 24 to 48 hours. Should be able to have that EIN number if you do it. Now, here's the phone number directly to the IRS department about the EIN. So if you need to request a change or a copy of your EIN verification letter, this is the direct number, and then you dial 1 and 3, and that'll take you right to that department, so you're not staying on hold for hours in the wrong department. So hopefully that helps out. So you start with the Secretary of State, form your company, go to the IRS, get your tax ID number. If indeed you need to get any patents, copyrights, you can do that right here at uspto.gov. And basically that is a government site where you will be able to get your patents, trademarks, or copyrights done. And of course, whatever licenses you need for your business, if you need licensing, whatever industry you're in, make sure you get that set up. So that'll be the first step in forming your company. The next video, we're going to move on and we're going to talk about establishing and building a business checking account. We'll get into that a little bit later on the next video. And then, of course, we're going to continue going right down the line of all of the steps of starting and launching your business with StartupCred.com, Startup Credibility. This is Sebastian Boyer, the approved guy. And I hope you appreciate this video. If you like what you hear and you're seeing, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you on the next video. Thank you, guys.